trials. Can we give some room for the brothers who's coming late?
All praise be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the one who made afflictions mandatory on his believers in their worship. And I bear witness that there is no God worthy of worship but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I also bear witness that Muhammad is his prophet and messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the Imam of the Muslims and the role model for those who are patient. We send out peace and salutation upon his family, companions, and those that followed in his footsteps. Fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as he wants you to fear him. Today's topic is trials between burning beginnings and bright endings. The importance of talking about this topic of afflictions, Allah has made this world a stepping stone and a test, and made trials in it from Allah's divine decree. Because the nature of this world and humans is that afflictions is a must, such as wars, earthquakes, and the hardships through their life. Also within the person, as we struggle to work, or the death of loved ones, or bankruptcy, or the test of hold on to your creed, your religion. Also, all of this is a test to distinguish the true believers from the liars, the good from the evil, those who are patient, or those who hate what Allah has decreed and they disbelieve and go back. The Quran and the Sunnah mention trials in many verses, like tests, trials, and afflictions is mentioned. In many sayings also of the Prophet ﷺ, that points to the test and trials of evil and good. All of this is to differentiate those who will abide in hellfire from those who will live in a piety in this world and enter paradise in the hereafter. Narrated by Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas, may Allah be pleased with him, the Prophet ﷺ was asked, who among people are tested the most? The Prophet ﷺ said, the prophets and the likes. People will be tested according to their faith. He who is stronger in faith is tested the most until the end of the hadith, and they will keep being tested until they walk like they are free of sins. Also narrated by Anas ibn Malik, may Allah be pleased with him, the Prophet ﷺ said, the greater the reward, the greater the test will be. If Allah loves those who He tests them, He who is pleased and he who is discontent. Afflictions is a way to empowerment, and being tested is the steps to empowerment. Whom Allah wants to give power to are those who will be tested severely. The only way to be established and deserve Allah's support is by going through tests and tribulations. Allah has given the people of Musa alayhi salam empowerment after they endure afflictions of tested trials. Then they were favored over those before them. They were tortured by Fir'aun and his army, a brutal and painful torment. If we look at the condition of the Muslims today, we see that Muslims have gone through many trials. Holding firm to their creed as Muslims was the main reason for this test. Disbelievers and hypocrites would mock them by their God and make fun of the Prophet ﷺ and make sarcasm of their religion, Islam, and their tradition. In many countries around the world where Muslims practice their religion, they are being targeted and tortured. And the melting pot, as we are witnessing it today, and we live its events today, is Palestine. The tongue is unable to describe these afflictions, and the heart cannot handle what we see in Palestine, especially in Gaza. While watching this happen to our brothers and sisters, and we sit powerless, we cannot do nothing to help them. At the same time, we must not accept it and just live our life. And he who do not care the less and accept what is happening is agreeing to the torture and torment of kids, women, and the old who are deprived from food, medicine, and water. Being afflicted is connected to empowerment. Nothing can break it. The way of Allah is that He will not give empowerment unless being tested, like hunger, death of loved ones, fear, and after they go through a windmill of trials, then those evil will be distinguished from the good. Narrated by Abi ibn Ka'b, may Allah be pleased with him, the Prophet said that, give the news to the nation, to his ummah, with ease, happiness, in the elevation through religion, in the empowerment of the land with victory. He who do the work of the hereafter for this world will not get nothing in the hereafter. Afflictions in the beginning is a burden phase, and in the end it's a shining bright hope and an elevation of dignity, honor, and being established in the land. The people's standpoint from afflictions varies, but those who are the tremors, They stir or spread rumors in times of afflictions and severity of trials. They are the spy of the enemy. In the battle of Al-Ahzab, they were infiltrated in the Muslim army to break it from within. Then the Quran exposes them. Today we see those who are doing the same thing, hypocrites. They are witnessing what is happening in Palestine and other Muslim countries, yet they are the puppets of the enemy, repeating what they dictate to them, blaspheming the Muslim, using media platforms to bring out what's in their hearts against the Muslim, joking about what is happening today in Gaza and the people of Palestine, attacking the Quran and accusing the Sunnah, defending the enemy who is committing atrocity and war crimes, killing innocent kids, detaining the Muslim, destroying their homes, mosques, schools, and hospitals, making their land not suitable to live. Doing all of this in an ambiguous lie, fabricating the truth just to justify what the enemy is doing to the Muslim is okay. And at the same time, they block or support or report anything that is supporting what is going from genocide and annihilation of the Palestinian people on social media or the news outlets. Taking side of the enemy. Being steadfast and resilience in defending the land prove that what is these tremors and the sellouts only come out in times when the Muslims are being victorious just to put the Muslims down. And what is the believer's condition in times of afflictions? You depend on Allah. Also you do prayers and supplications, and then you go back to Allah when afflictions is being fallen upon you. And finally, sensing the bond of brotherhood. Dear believers, know for certain that when being tested, you purify the soul, and you know the true believers from the liars and all the hypocrites. Also in prosperity, you do not show how strong you are. But when you are afflicted, it is when you show that you are strong and you are being steadfast. And Gaza events today expose a lot of things to us that we don't know. This affliction that they go through make us see a lot of things we don't see and make them also strong.